For the first time ever, I was anxious about going on a Disney ride. Not because it's scary or because I'm afraid of roller coasters. Instead, I was anxious about being fat shamed for the first time on Disney property. The ride, of course, that made me anxious was TRON Lightcycle Run. The unique ride vehicle design for Disney's latest roller coaster has left a lot of people questioning if they will even be able to fit on the attraction when they finally have a chance to ride. So, who does fit? Well, surprisingly more people than I thought. I'll show you how I fit, plus give you my stats and measurements. And if you're someone watching this who has rode TRON, head to the comments and share your experience, your stats, and your information to help other guests who are planning their trip feel prepared. I'm being brave and I'm sharing all my information, but it's to help you guys be prepared and feel seen. A little bit of context in case you've been living under a digital rock for the past, decade. TRON Lightcycle Run is a carbon copy of its Shanghai big brother that opened up in 2016 under another name. It's not the same name. I don't know why we did that, but it's not. Anyway, it took 6 long, trainless years for it to finally be built at the Magic Kingdom, but it's finally opened now, April 2023, at the tail end of the 50th anniversary. Let's talk about my ride experience, because initially I didn't think I was gonna fit on the ride, but it turned out that I fit into this ride vehicle like a glove. Or the ride vehicle fit on me like a glove. I don't know what the saying is. Growing up, my dad used to make this comparison as a fist in the eye, and you can't say that in public. For context, I am 6'2", with an 18-inch calf, and my thigh is 23 inches. 2 measurements that will be super important to contextualizing if you will have trouble fitting on the ride. The ride vehicle is a bike design inspired by the Lightcycles from the 1982 and 2010 films, where grid users lay forward into a digital bike. Here in the real world, it's a bit more complicated. Park guests will need to kneel, lean, and pull to lock themselves into the vehicle. First, you stand into the bike and kneel your shins onto the large black plastic receivers. Next, you lean forward, placing your thighs into the larger grips, moving your entire body forward towards the handlebars. Finally, you pull the large silver bars into your chest, lowering the back safety panel, and more importantly, engaging the silver safety bar of doom, which locks the entire leg into the restraint behind your knee and above the calf. So, where does the trouble start for some guests? It's not a matter of height. I saw guests super tall all the way down to tiny children make their way onto this ride vehicle successfully. It all comes down to that silver safety bar of doom. Without it extending to a full 90 degrees, the ride will not lock. I call it, of course, the silver safety bar of doom because it's the one thing everyone seems to be talking about and everyone seems to be afraid of. The bar of doom is deceptive. It is not horizontal. It comes in at a karate chop angle, pinching the leg instead of sweeping.
Sweep the leg.
This isn't a Karate Kid video, Kenny. This is a TRON video. Stop making sweep the leg jokes. And even more infuriating, the test vehicle has no indicator light to show whether or not you've actually engaged it. No blue light goes off when the tester locks, no sound, no confirmation, just a cast member there giving their best guess. Speaking of cast members, they cannot help you fit into the ride except for a couple helpful tips. They cannot physically help with the seat restraints, giving them a nudge or a push to help lock you in. It's fully on you or your friend or family if you're lucky. Based on all my info I gathered from riding this attraction 3 times, here are all of my helpful tips to get you on this ride. Disclaimer, I don't work for the parks. I don't have any info from the parks. There wasn't any public accessibility info available about this ride from the parks. So this is just you and me, baby. The experiences I've had, passing on to you. The oral history. So how do I fit? The handlebars, back restraint, and silver bar of doom are all connected. They move together in tandem. And your goal is to get that silver bar to extend a full 90 degrees by pulling down on the handlebars once laying forward. From my experience, I got onto the ride on my tiptoes and pushed my feet back as far against the wheel as possible. That action extended my leg forward, pushing my thigh up into the front grip, which paved the way for the silver bar to engage right over my calf like a glove. Now remember, I have 18-inch calves and my thigh is 23 inches. So you can see how the bar engages with my leg exactly. Keeping yourself relaxed and not tense is critical here because you want to have as much flexibility in your leg to get that bar to move over it. For riders who are close to fitting, here are some of my solutions. Remember that the handle, back brace, and bar of doom are all connected. That means with a little push of the back restraint from a friend, or even you if you're flexible enough to reach behind you and pull it back down, will help move the bar of doom forward into the locking position. I rode with a friend who was just at the ride limit, and with the help of a small push on the back restraint, locked him in enough to ride. I've also heard discussions about wearing leggings or skin-tight pants to help with the friction of the bar as it glides over your calf versus your sweaty vacation legs. Kenny never stops sweating, so if you see him at the Magic Kingdom wearing leggings or extremely tight pants, it's a sure bet he's on his way to ride Tron. I just love the visual of Kenny in Fabletics strutting to Tron, be like, today's my day. If you don't fit on these bikes, luckily you have another option, a set of accessibility seats on the back of the roller coaster train, but even that has its problems. Let's say you don't fit once you're on the load platform. You've made it all the way down and you're about to get on the bike. You have to exit the bike and back up into the already filled queue space, going against the flow of traffic to make your way to a secondary queue for the accessibility seats, where an additional wait of sometimes 10 to 30 minutes can occur. The reason why? Because only 2 of the 7 roller coaster trains actually have the accessibility seats. This ride is clearly designed off of a different body type than here in America and doesn't seem to take into account all of American size and statures. Like me, your favorite Viking-sized Disney park YouTuber. Does this take away from it being a good ride? No and yes. This ride is really epic. It is truly a vibe. I loved it so much. The accessibility seats still offer a fantastic experience for anyone who wants or needs to use them, and I'm grateful that there's that consideration. I just wish the ride was a little bit more accessible and we had a bit more transparency on the exact fit requirements. It's a painful feeling what equates to fat shaming when you're forced on a tester vehicle that doubles as a photo op in the middle of the queue. Or being pushed off the ride, separated from your group to join this makeshift line for accessible seats. This is not something I've ever had to deal with at the Disney parks before. It's something I exclusively deal with at Universal, and it's the reason I don't go there to vacation. This is why I'm not Universal Dan. It's because I can't fit on any of their rides. This is not the story I want for anyone at a Disney park. I've been fortunate enough to ride and experience every attraction Disney Parks has to offer. I've been on it all. I've gotten close with Flight of Passage, which has maybe the most restrictive seats, but nothing as close to the way I'm seeing Tron affect people. It seems overly complicated, but hey, that's innovation, I guess, in the land of tomorrow. We are in a computer in this, yes. It's all a simulation. After doing the entire canon of Figment, I'm not entirely sure we're not just in a simulation that exists in Figment's imagination. Like, we're just all his imaginary friends. And we're stuck here. And that's why it's so chaotic here. So, as I leave the grid, hopefully all of this information has uploaded onto your hard drives as useful data.
You like that?
You like that, Tron computer puns? Remember, head to the comments to share your experiences on the ride and give everyone all of your info to help anxious guests. Plus, leave a comment and let me know which of the Daft Punk members do you think is cuter. I personally like the one with the shiny helmet. And of course, find me across all of the holy social media channels. Blessing upon you to those who follow. Thank you, user. Your data disk indicates that you rock. Transmission terminated. Beep boop beep. Boop boop. Oh, my laugh does kind of sound like that internet startup sound. Like when you wanted to get on AOL. You kids don't even know anything about that anymore. Just stop the video. Hey, does anyone know why this locker was always taken at Tron? I tried to, you had to store your stuff before each ride, and I kept trying to use this locker, but it was always taken. Does anyone know why?